This show is produced by the Hartman Media Company. For more information and links to all our great podcasts, visit hartmanmedia.com.
Larry Elder here. Now, after personally meeting with Jason Hartman about real estate investing in growing markets, I knew I wanted to share him with you. They are the real deal. They'll show you how you can make money buying investment real estate in growing markets. That's right, get exceptional returns and actually help you acquire excellent investments. I strongly recommend you attend one of their seminars, register for the events where you'll learn how to use America's best investment real estate to achieve financial freedom. They have simply created the complete solution for real estate investors. Do yourself a favor, call them right now to learn more. You'll be glad you did. And tell them that Larry Elder sent you.
Welcome to the Creating Wealth Show with Jason Hartman. You're about to learn a new slant on investing, some exciting techniques, and fresh new approaches to the world's most historically proven asset class that will enable you to create more wealth and freedom than you ever thought possible. Jason is a genuine self-made multimillionaire who's actually been there and done it. He's a successful investor, lender, developer, and entrepreneur who's owned properties in 11 states, had hundreds of tenants, and been involved in thousands of real estate transactions. This program will help you follow in Jason's footsteps on the road to your financial independence day. You really can do it. And now, here's your host, Jason Hartman, with the complete solution for real estate investors.
Welcome to episode 1736, and we will have part 2 of the eQRP discussion today, and our guest will be back for that. But first, my mom is back on the show to do the intro portion with me today. Mom, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. Good morning.
Good. I'm looking forward to seeing you at Empowered Investor Live on Friday. Are you excited?
I will be there.
Yeah, you have a lot of friends at my conferences. It's great to know that you're making lots of friends there. So you've been to many of them over the years, and tell the audience a little bit about the conferences and, what you get out of them and stuff.
Well, I just love to go to conferences because I love to learn things. And I guess it's back in the old days of sitting in the schoolroom. But, I just love to go to lectures, seminars, and especially those about real estate. And of course, one of my favorites is Jason's.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. One of the funniest things, I don't even know if you remember saying this to me, but one of the funniest things you ever said to me, at least recently, was this. One day I just kind of casually said to you, I said, it's funny how we like a lot of the same things. One of the things we like is learning. We both love to learn, right? And right. We're both really curious people. And so I said to you, it's funny how we like a lot of the same things. And you go, well, Jason, we are related. I thought that was pretty funny. Anyway, hey, the reason I'm having Mom on the show today is because she has been reallocating her portfolio, buying and selling properties, as have I recently. I'm doing 2 1031 exchanges right now. Just purchased another rental property on Monday. Very excited about that one. And Mom, you kind of just offhanded mentioned to me that the changes in your cash flow with what you've been doing. So can you tell us, where you were in terms of your rental property portfolio? You kind of started doing this about a year ago, I think, where you really kind of buckled down and started doing a lot of stuff. Kind of give us the before and after picture, if you would.
Well, some of it's a little bit mixed up because it's not all 1031 exchanges, but I was going to give you the exact examples of the 1031 exchanges of 4 of them that I did in Florida, because I just had time to kind of just put those figures together this morning. And by selling 2 California properties, I was able to buy 4 Florida properties doing a 1031 exchange.
Okay, so you did the 2 for 1. I've done, or the 1 for 2, I should say. Yep. Or the 2 for 1. That's the right way to say it. I've done that many times, and many of our clients have. So you got 4 properties and sold 2, right?
Right, correct.
Excellent. And how did that change your monthly income?
Well, the gross income on those 4 properties went from $3,075 to $10,400. But I know everybody's only interested, well, what's the net? What's the net? What's the net? Okay?
Wait. The net, look, Mom, The net actually, investors, the net is oddly not that important. And I've explained this in depth. It takes a few minutes for me to explain this. We don't have time to do it now, but look, you want to measure the quality of the property based on its gross, its price versus its monthly rent, or at least its net operating income. And since these aren't complex commercial properties, NOI isn't even as meaningful here. The mortgage debt differs, and that can really skew the numbers. So anyway, I just want people to understand that going in, but go ahead, Mom.
Okay. So anyway, the net was, I'll just do round figures here. Okay. The net was $3,000 in California. And once I moved sold those properties and moved and bought in Florida, the net was $10,400. But what is even very, very nice, that was the gross. Okay. But on those 4 properties, the net in California was $2,000 in round figures. And the net in Florida is $6,000 in round.
Okay,
figures.
hang on. I'm confused.
So that's a 200% increase.
That's fantastic, but I'm confused, and I want to make sure everybody's following. So it sounds like you're talking about the first set of properties. The first one you sold, your net income on that one was how much?
Jason, I'm doing the 2 properties together. The first one that I sold, I have to look up the.
Well, no, it's okay. Do them both together. But
okay.
so together.
So the net income, the gross income on those 2 properties that I sold in California was $3,075.
Okay, $3,075, and then what is that income in Florida? So we get our apples to apples comparison.
That is $10,400.
Wow. Okay. So first off, I have a sound effect for you, Mom. Congratulations. That is fantastic. I mean, what a difference. What a difference. Isn't that incredible? Any particular comments on that or things you want to say about it?
Well, yes, let me tell you. One of the properties in California was free and clear.
Mm-hmm.
And now one of the properties in Florida is also free and clear. So we're really comparing like things, okay?
Okay. And what I'd like you to do is refinance that property, pull the equity out, do my refi till you die plan, and use that equity for more properties. But hey, it's better than what you had before, so you're much better off. Now, you're also working on another sale of another old California property you owned for a long time in Long Beach. I remember when you bought that house, and I just wrote up a counteroffer for you on that last night. So that's exciting too, huh?
Yeah, well, I hope it didn't scare the guy away.
Well, it was the same.
It was
price.
virtually the same thing.
We didn't change the price, but we had to add some terms in there. But what's interesting about that one is I remember when you bought that for the maximum FHA loan amount, which I believe at the time was about $90,000 or $92,000. And now you're selling it potentially, if he accepts the counteroffer, which is not a counteroffer on price, for $540,000.
Oh,
So
I only paid about $72,000 for that.
Oh, it was even cheaper. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. I thought it was like 90,000 way back when. But yeah, that's fantastic. So what is your plan now? You want to sell, I think, 2 more of the old properties that you've had for, a couple of decades. And what's your plan now with the next step?
Well, what happened is that I raised everybody's rent because I was hoping people would start moving.
By the way, that's just so funny, but go ahead.
Nobody moved. But now all of a sudden, 2 properties, the people are both moving. Not because, one is because I raised the rent, and the other one is because the children have grown up and they're now in college.
Okay.
So I will have a lot of cash from those 2 properties because I've had them for a long, long time. So I hope to buy about maybe 5 properties in Florida doing the 1031 exchange, 5 or 6. It just depends. Okay.
Okay. So that's 2 properties converts to 5 or 6 properties, right?
Right.
Fantastic. Mom, congratulations. I got to say, how is it that it took you so long to listen to me?
Oh, Jason, stop. Before you said those words, I was just going to say, I should have listened to you a long, long time ago and done it a long time ago.
Wait a second. People, stop the presses. Did you all hear that? It's on tape. This is recorded. Mom, say it one more time.
I should have listened to my son a long time ago and put to work all of that very dead equity. I mean, it's just ridiculous to let that equity sit there in your homes when you could be, leveraging up. If you don't want to buy more properties, go on great vacations, buy a fabulous house, do whatever you want to do.
Right.
If you're a man, you probably want to buy a big sports car or something silly like that.
That's funny too. Oh, you're funny. Well, I'm curious, what changed your mind all of a sudden? I mean, I've been bugging you to do this for years, and something must have clicked. What was it? Anything in particular?
Yes, it was. It was a very definite thing. I think I was at a conference. It might have been yours. It might have been someone else's. And all of a sudden I felt, hey, I'm not living in the world. I'm just sitting back, and I was so bored. And so I thought, I have to do something. I can't stand this.
Was it the moving to Florida, though, stuff? Was it that you wanted to get out of California, or was it Florida? Which one attracted you? Or was it just the debt equity thing?
No, I was just sitting here in Alabama and I was bored. And I went to a conference, I went to a lecture, and I thought, hey, I'm not living in the world. All of these people are out there going to meetings, doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't doing anything. I'd have to get up and figure out, gee, what am I going to do today?
Right.
And you know what? That is a terrible, terrible thing. Really, people should really think twice before they retire. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you there. That's true. Absolutely. Good. Very, very wise words right there, folks.
So I thought, what can I do instead of getting interested in politics about which one can really do nothing except, their vote, or they can lead, they can really get into it and do something. But that isn't what I'm concerned about. So I decided to just do what I know. And that was to buy some more rental houses. When I went into this neighborhood in Pompano Beach, it was so like Kelton Avenue, where I bought my first house in Los Angeles. Yeah. People were kind of like fixing up things, and there were houses for sale, and there was a lot of activity, and it seemed like a deja vu type of thing. And I thought, wow. And so I bought 2 houses there.
Yeah. So what's interesting too is to look at the Kelton Avenue property, for example, and how that area has mostly stagnated over the years. There was a time when there was money flowing in and people were fixing stuff up, but then it just kind of, I don't know, I'm comparing it to Orange County, where, we both used to live after LA, but that's a long discussion, so we won't be able to make sense of it here. Mom, the upshot of it is, I just want to say congratulations to you for getting your sleepy equity, your lazy equity, and moving it to where it is giving you a higher return on investment. And that's what I wanted you to come on and share. And folks, everybody listening heard the numbers, okay? And you're going to be doing a lot more than that, and you're really going to be maximizing your portfolio. So I love it. If anyone out there has properties that you've owned for a while, we help a lot of people do 1031 exchanges on their properties and do portfolio makeovers. This is a free service. Our investment counselors will help you with a portfolio makeover so you get the highest and best use of your equity or whatever assets you have in any other investment. So join us this weekend at Empowered Investor Live. We have virtual tickets due to popular demand. You've asked for virtual live streaming tickets, so those are available at empoweredinvestor.com. And Mom, I'll look forward to seeing you there on Friday.
Definitely.
Thanks for joining us.
See you then, Jason. Bye.
Right. So we're really talking about something broader than the eQRP. We're talking about like an asset protection plan.
Well, the eQRP it's a specifically built retirement account that includes those things. So it does include, the eQRP is not just a name for something else. It was built on purpose with those entities in it to provide the asset protection, to provide the anonymity.
Okay. All right. And I know it's not one size fits all, but do you have like one product you do, or are there multiple products?
So it's multiple products, so when typically people will set up an eQRP, and as they grow, we morph their plan into a safe harbor where as they grow employees, sometimes people have a Roth IRA that's really stuck because you can't move a Roth IRA into anything else. It has to stay a Roth IRA. So we have a FICRA, which is a free checkbook IRA, has no annual fees for anything forever. So there's some stuff like that we do. Really, all of these things were meant to give people an option to solve their retirement pile. And so they evolve. Once somebody has an eQRP, it's a dynamic entity. It's not fixed, so it grows and adjusts with them.
Interesting. I did a captive insurance company, and that was interesting. I've been looking at those things for maybe 12 years or so, and I finally did one and just dove down the rabbit hole to learn all about it. It's a whole world, right? And I suppose this is the same way. Is that true?
Yeah, this is a lot more powerful and complex than people first give, and same with your captive insurance. Really powerful tool, and you can go down the rabbit hole with it pretty deep.
Mm-hmm. Is this something, Damien, that is really only needed by people of a certain net worth or certain income level or in a certain situation, or is it kind of like anybody might want it?
I mean, anybody that doesn't want to pay tax would want this.
Well, yeah, but
some people, I think there's some people out there that think, well, they want everybody else to pay tax, but they don't want to pay tax. Maybe that's
right. Yeah. Let's not mention Jeff Bezos and, all the rest of the, the ultra wealthy mega billionaire scum that don't pay their share. But otherwise, I say don't eat the rich except for them,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a great question. And the question is, why would somebody need this or want this? And a lot of times real estate investors specifically will say, why do I need anything? I don't pay taxes anyway. And it's a fair question because
they have a lot of depreciation benefits.
100%. Yeah, exactly. And so my thought is make sure you have multiple quiver or multiple arrows in your quiver.
Yeah,
the Roth is my favorite thing. And the reason the Roth is so powerful is because it takes your taxes to zero forever. And this is one of those things where we know the tax code is going to change. We know that things are going to be targets. And so depreciation is there now. And could it change? Yes. We don't know what it'll look like. So my suggestion is make sure you just have as many, like your captive insurance. It's a great thing to have in your arsenal. So that's the same deal with the retirement accounts, having a Roth account. There's no downside to having it. And one of the things about it is that...
Well, I'm going to disagree with you on that for a moment.
Okay.
Now, I might be the crazy one here that's missing out. So far, I am the one missing out. But I did not convert to a Roth. And I'll tell you why I didn't. I just think the government is too desperate and too hungry. And I'm afraid they're going to look for the low-hanging fruit and just change the rules. And they do that. Right? It happens. You mentioned they could take away depreciation benefits. True. They could do anything, right?
Right.
But a very low-hanging fruit for the government seems to be, hey, look, we told all these Roth people that if they pay the tax back then, they're not going to get taxed when they take distributions, but we changed our mind because we need money, and that's what concerns me.
I totally agree with you. So take that with your disagreement. I agree with you. I think that's it's a rational thing to expect the government to change the rules. And they actually did that recently where people used to hear about a stretch IRA where people would have a Roth IRA, their kids or grandkids would inherit it. And then that money, I have one of those. I inherited it from my dad. And so for the rest of my life, I get to spend this thing, grow it, whatever. So no taxes. And the IRS and the Congress said, we're going to change the rules. So it's only 10 years now. Once you inherit it, it's 10 years. So not only are they likely to do it, they keep doing it. They keep changing the rules. Here's what they typically do. They grandfather what's already in play. So like mine sticks as it is.
I agree that they do tend to grandfather, but not always.
No, I mean, we don't know for sure. We can't predict it. We have people that are politicians. I guess they're people, but I mean, the reality is we don't know. And that's why I think it's so valuable to have different piles in different structures so that if one structure gets massively hacked or something, then you're not sitting there going, dang, that's all of everything I have. So that's the piece that I think is valuable. I think it's valuable to have a Roth eQRP or Roth IRA, captive insurance, real estate, because it's an interesting way of diversifying. It's diversifying amongst different tax categories.
Yeah, very interesting. What else do you want us to know, Damien?
Well, here's one of the things that a lot of people don't realize. I'm going to share this. This is what you can tap into retirement accounts a lot earlier than you thought. Most people think I got to wait till I'm 60, I'm 30 or 40. And I don't want to wait 20, 30 years.
No, you can do it when you're 59 and a half. Come on, Damien.
Yeah. Okay. So there's the accelerator. Like, that's what people think. Okay. It's not 60, it's 6 months earlier. Yeah. The reality is you can tap into these things right now because of the tax code, like one of our clients did. And this is a great example. If you've got cash in a retirement account, there's a way to convert it to Roth. And normally when that happens, it's a taxable event. You convert, like in this case, 300,000 to Roth. If that's all you did, you'd have $300,000 more in income, which is taxed at ordinary income rates. But you can then take that money out immediately, no tax, no penalty. And then you could take that and buy a building. Let's say you bought $1 million building like these guys did. You would have the opportunity to have some cost seg bonus depreciation, which would offset all of that conversion income if one of the parties was a real estate professional. So all of a sudden now your 300,000 or whatever the number is out of the retirement account in a property that's giving you cash flow, and it doesn't matter how old you are. So this, if you start mashing the tax code together, we're at a unique point in time where you may be able to be out of the rat race or have this real cash flow you can spend at any age. And that's a pretty unique thing for people to really tap into.
Yeah, very interesting. Okay, good. So on that question of anything else you want us to know, is this it?
Yeah, I think really the big thing is just understanding that retirement accounts aren't just meant for people to use in their sunset years. I think there's $35 trillion sitting in these, and not all retirement accounts are equal, and they're different rules. So it's important to understand, because whether you're using your own money or other people are going to be investing with you, you want to have good information and complete information. And it's just important to learn about these things and figure out at least the basics so you're not ignorant, because there's a lot of power in them.
I'm not sure we really got an answer to who sort of needs this or qualifies it. We jokingly said anybody who doesn't want to pay taxes, right? I mean, the guy on the street that has like one property versus someone who has 20 or 100 or 500 properties, which I know the wealthy person needs it, right? But does the person with like one rental property need it? They got a personal residence and one rental property. Is this going to help them very much?
Is it going to help them? If they're trying to shield any type of active income, it's going to help them. I mean, that's definitely a case. If you've got something you're doing and you're making active income, if you want to avoid getting hammered with the tax, you're going to be able to shelter a pretty significant amount. So with one rental property, it could help you. With 100, it could be another arrow in your quiver. Is it going to make the difference in your life? If you have 100 properties, probably not. Yeah. But it also could be if you end up with a pile in Roth and everything else gets taxed at 50, 60%. I mean, we're just hedging. I mean, a lot of these strategies are really hedging for.
Oh yeah, and you have a lot of hedges all over the place, a lot of arrows in your quiver, as you like to say, and that adds up. So, certainly. So you do a lot of things, but it's sort of the cost of it, the complexity of maintaining it, whatever, that has to weigh in, right? Yeah. And so do you want to share, by the way, on the air, any of the kind of a ballpark of what this costs to do this?
Yeah, so it ranges from $3,500 to $8,500. That's the range for depending on where you're at, whether you're by yourself or whether you have spouses or you have employees. And so there's a range, and it's a great question to bring up.
Did you say if you have spouses, like plural?
Hey, it could happen. I mean, we're in a woke environment. I don't know anymore. I got to be careful about
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I mean, truly the complexity, and this is what people will come in, especially you mentioned if somebody has 100 properties, do they want more complexity? The answer is generally no, they don't want. They want to keep it simple as much as possible. And this is where the team comes into play. So when somebody has an eQRP, it's going to look very simple. They're going to have a checkbook, they invest, and all the compliance is done by us. So it's, all the filings, everything that they have to do. That's a really simple approach to investing when you have a checkbook and there's no taxes, there's nothing that happens. It's about
and that checkbook is from an LLC that you set up for them, right?
Yep, everything is set up for them.
And so are they in control of that money in the account? It's the LLC they control, right?
Yeah, they're the only ones that are in control. Nobody else touches the money. Not us, not anybody else. It's 100% all the money in the retirement account inside the LLC. They're the only signer on anything.
Yeah. And folks, I just want to make a warning to everybody listening. There have been scams of companies that do IRA plans and so forth that have just embezzled the money. So be careful. It's nice to be in control of the money for sure. So good stuff.
I'd say that's one of the big things about assets. If you can't hold it, you don't know if you really own it.
Right. Exactly. Damien, give out your information so people can find out more. You've got a book, right?
Yeah, I've got a book, and the easiest way to get the book is you just shoot a text message over. I'll even share that on the screen so everybody can take a look at that. Take a look. Basically, you're just going to text the word eQRP to 72,000, and you can get a copy of the summation of the book, if you will. And then if you want the book, you can just say, "Hey, I want the book," and we'll send you a copy of the book. It's on us. Really, just education and maybe sharing it with people. But that's it. Just text the word eQRP to 72,000 and educate yourself, learn about something new, or share it with other people. And
good stuff. And I noticed on a lot of your stuff, you have Bitcoin images. Why? Is this particularly of interest to crypto people or what?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. The Bitcoin, because we're going through a financial transformation in a monetary system, Bitcoin is one of the places where people are looking to put assets and diversify. The eQRP allows you to buy crypto, Bitcoin, and to be able to do it and hold it yourself. You cannot do that with an IRA. And we've created a very easy system. So somebody says, I want to use 10,000 or 100,000 of my retirement money, and they can literally have the Bitcoin in their hand in a cold wallet the next day. So that's a unique thing for people to hold it and be able to do that. And then, there's a lot of confusion around the taxes. So
basically, in the typical plans, you have to have this arm's length rule, right? You can't touch it.
Yep.
And that makes sense. There's a logic to that, right? The IRS does have some logic to their stuff. But in this one, you can actually hold the asset. Like you could buy gold and keep it under your bed, and that'd be okay.
Yeah, you're in the eQRP, you're the trustee, which means you're in control. You have a fiduciary responsibility, means you have to protect the plan assets. And so you can buy gold, hold it. I mean, you don't want to put it on your porch and put a sign that says, "Come take my gold." But
I couldn't agree more. I do not keep valuables in your house. My grandparents suffered a home invasion robbery, and my grandfather was a coin collector. So, do not keep this stuff in your house. Very dangerous.
No, I 100% agree. I mean, be mindful because it's your job. But the neat thing is you actually can control it. You can put it where you want. You can safeguard it. And with crypto, having crypto on an exchange, whether it's Coinbase or whatever, Kraken, Gemini, there's still a counterparty risk, whether you have it on PayPal or something. Yeah. In this case, you're able to hold it and nobody can touch it. And you can move it across borders. It's really fascinating. A lot of people don't realize they're at risk when they have their crypto on an exchange. And this way you can take it off the exchange.
Oh, sure. I mean, look at Mt. Gox, these people embezzle, all kinds of stuff happens, yeah. But I'm really surprised the IRS would allow that. That really does surprise me.
Well, the rules are that the trustee is in control of the assets. And the IRS says, here's what you can't do. You can't go buy a property and then live in it or get a current benefit. But there's no current benefit to you holding gold or silver. There's no current benefit to you holding Bitcoin. Your job is to be the trustee. That's the hat you're wearing. And so since you can pick the trustee, that's why it's allowed.
But a lot of these people do artwork, right? Sometimes really expensive artwork. Can they hold artwork in a plan and hang it on their wall? I mean, I can't. That would surprise me.
I'm glad you brought that up because collectibles and art are prohibited.
Oh, okay.
Same as wine, but that's obvious because at 60 people would be hungover and broke. So they don't
but people view gold as the IRS taxes gold as a collectible. So I'm surprised that gold bullion you could keep it in your possession.
Yeah, that's the one specific thing that the IRS identifies that you can only do certain types of gold and silver. It's either US Eagles or it's a certain purity based on the exchanges like 0.999 or better. So you can't have collectible coins. You can have bullion. So
you can't have St. Gaudens, but you can have gold bars. Interesting. That's
exactly
interesting.
This is why a team is so important. People can say, well, what am I supposed to do? What can I do? And you got to have people that can answer those questions.
Sure, definitely. And folks, I just want to make the disclaimer, I'm not a gold bug. I it's okay. It's certainly not great in my opinion. I like income property. That's the best thing. Whether it be single family homes, mobile home parks, I like that stuff a lot. I like hard money lending fairly well. You could have loans in your portfolio, right? You just would loan it from your LLC and you can do that.
You can do
that
hard
on your
money loans
self-directed
all
IRA
you
too.
want. Yeah, and with any retirement account, you can do that. You just have to make sure it's not a prohibited party, but hard money loans are great.
Right. Okay, good stuff. So you can't loan, I think, up or down the chain in the family tree, right?
That's exactly right.
That would
You
be a
can do the
prohibited
side
party.
branches, the cousins and the siblings, but not the parents or kids.
Yeah, but you may not want to loan to them anyway because
I don't know if
it's
I
likely,
agree. Maybe that's a bad idea overall.
it's likely to not work out. So yeah, good stuff. Well, Damien, hey, thanks for joining us and explaining this and sharing this with our audience. We really appreciate it, and happy investing to all. Hey, it's Jason Hartman, and the largest wealth transfer in American history is underway right now. And I want to invite you to learn how you can defend yourself against this wealth transfer, be one of the recipients of this wealth transfer instead of one of the victims of it, because the chips on the table are changing. Everything is moving around. And this is the time to be more educated and more aware than ever. So join us for Empowered Investor Live. This event has a totally new name, Empowered Investor Live. It's in Orlando, and it's in the middle of September 10th, 11th, and 12th. Beautiful resort property in Orlando. You can make a vacation out of this. Bring the family, Disney, Universal, Epcot Center, just tons of great things to do in Orlando. So join us for this event in the middle of September. Fantastic resort hotel. But look, that's not what it's about. It's about the education. It's about seeing the properties. It's about networking with fellow investors, learning how to create wealth in inflationary times, and to explore the possibility of deflation in this market, or a mix, right? Where some things are inflating, others are deflating, and you want to be on the right side of that trade. This wealth transfer is truly amazing. It has never happened before. There's not only the biggest wealth transfer in American history, but the biggest migration, at least in our lifetimes, if not longer. So discover the markets that make sense, the markets that are a ripoff. We will have local market specialists there. Our teams will fly out from all over the country like they have at my past events. We've got great speakers lined up. We're going to talk about estate planning, asset defense, asset protection, a whole new angle on asset protection, by the way, that we have never talked about before. It's just going to be 3 great days. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, September 10th, 11th, and 12th, Orlando, Florida. Get your tickets now. Get the early bird price. Do not miss out on this event. By the way, if you're a member of the Empowered Investor Inner Circle, of course you did get a discount. Be sure to look in the Inner Circle for that promo code, that secret discount code for you. And if you're not a member, you can join below and get this event included in that package price. So take advantage of it. We'll look forward to seeing you in beautiful Orlando, sunny Florida. And hey, I know a lot of you are thinking of moving here if you don't live here already. So it might be a good time to not only take a little vacation, but attend the conference, learn a ton of things, and maybe explore some new areas, maybe some new places to live. So we'll look forward to seeing you in Orlando, middle of September. Get your tickets down below, and we'll see you there. Thank you so much for listening. Please be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss any episodes. Be sure to check out the show's specific website and our general website, hartmanmedia.com, for appropriate disclaimers and terms of service. Remember that guest opinions are their own, and if you require specific legal or tax advice or advice in any other specialized area, please consult an appropriate professional. And we also very much appreciate you reviewing the show. Please go to iTunes or Stitcher Radio or whatever platform you're using and write a review for the show. We would very much appreciate that. And be sure to make it official and subscribe so you do not miss any episodes. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode.